Welcome to Hack the Real Size podcast with Heather, Ashley, and myself, Keira, where we like to delve into the personal journeys of people in the entertainment industry. And tonight, we're very excited to welcome a wonderful friend of ours, Leigh Quinn. So Leigh has been trained at the Bristol Old Vic, and she was a lead in the Royal Shakespeare Company. She's done so much Shakespeare. She is like the guru of Shakespeare. And she's also one of the coaches in the actors community, which is how we all met her. So we are very excited to be picking your brains tonight. How are you doing, my lovely? Thank you for joining us.
I'm really, really good. I'm so happy to be here. And I'm really excited about your questions.
Yay! I mean, this is like your expectations, just lower them a little bit and then a little bit more for my section anyway.
Never.
So as you know, the format is we start with myself asking just some icebreaker questions, getting to know you a bit, although we know you pretty well, but our wonderful viewers don't, and they really should. And then I will hand you off to Heather, who's going to talk about your journey and how you got started. And then Ashley likes to talk about the preparation for roles and things like that. Okay.
Oh.
Are you ready to be interrogated?
I consent. Yes.
Good. I love it. So, when was the last time you were really nervous?
Oh, I mean, like just before this.
Really?
Nervous. The last time I've been really properly nervous, like going to run away from the show nervous, was when I did a show called Scrounger, and I had to do loads of different characters and accents. And I just remember we had quite not a lot of rehearsal. Basically, we had a really short time to put it all together. And I remember being at the door. It was a tiny little theatre, not a lot of audience in for our first night either. And I remember just thinking, I don't know if I can do this show tonight. Like, I am so nervous. I was just really worried about all the accents as well, in particular. And then I just thought, people are here to have fun, be entertained. And I went in and it was absolutely fine. And there was nothing wrong with it. And I prepped plenty, but I just remember that feeling just before I went on. Like, I was so nervous. And then it was just all fine in the end. So if ever
how do you bring yourself back down from that? How do you calm those nerves?
Well, my rule is just turn up. So I am a kind of, just turn up. I get nervous quite a lot, but I think you can just kind of like, people are there to be entertained. They're there to kind of have a good time. So, and they're there to watch you have a good time.
Yeah. So
you have to just kind of let all your nerves just get slip away to the side and
use it to have an inspired performance. I guess you can harness the energy, can't you?
And connect with the other actor as well. Like, that's kind of like, you can realize, look, you've got a buddy on stage that's going to kind of feed you your lines and your like reason for talking. And sometimes you can forget that when you get nervous. So you need to kind of remind yourself that you've got a whole team behind you.
Yeah.
So then, quite recently.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah. You didn't have to be nervous today.
Oh yeah, I get nervous all the time.
What has been the most embarrassing thing you've worn, either in your personal life or for a role?
Okay, so I have worn countless embarrassing things in my personal life, but
photos,
just from my own choice. But do you know what? I stand by them because I felt great on the day. Just looking back, I just have been like, why did you choose that outfit? But
is that like 90s halter neck with like the chain belt on the hips and
so many 90s stuff, like double denim all the way, which I still stand by, but it's just, there's been crop tops, fabulous looks. But my worst kind of like costume was I basically just graduated from Bristol. And I got a job at the Royal Court, which is an amazing theatre in London. And I was really lucky. And my first role was prostitute. Sorry, I was kind of laughing when I said that. My first role was to play a prostitute on a London stage. And I remember going in for my costume fitting, I had this corset. They put me in this lovely corset and stuff. And then I was waiting for my tights to arrive. And then they were like, okay, so this is it. And I was thinking, I've just got like a corset and like a kind of thong bodysuit on. And I was like, I don't know if this is it. And then I just remember them taking like a picture of me and stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe this is my costume. But the worst thing about that costume was I had to do a backwards roll in it towards the audience. So I turned up for the tech. And I'm doing this backwards roll, and I'm mortified because the director, I just heard him on the mic and he was like, can someone please bring Leigh's trousers down? Like, or Leigh's tights or something. And I was just like, I don't have any tights, so I don't know who's going to bring me. And I just remember the costume designer having to find me a whole new, like, well, basically a longer night dress. Mortified.
Was this like a special kind of show that you?
No.
Kind of show.
It was a really, really fun show to be a part of, but I was just a bit shocked at that. But I do have another costume story as well.
Oh, yes, please.
I have quite a lot of these actually. I once had to dress as an alien for a kind of artist film. I auditioned for this artist and he was like, yes, you can be the muse for the film. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I like the idea of this. And he was like, so this is your costume. You're an alien. He gave me this kind of unitard and like a cape. And he painted me gold, like a golden face. And like spray painted my hair and everything. And I remember just, we filmed it in a park in Bristol. And I had to go down this well and then just like appear from the well as a kind of alien figure and like wave.
Is this on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh my God. We'll be like,
okay, you're still giving us the link to that.
Yeah. So I had to like wave from this well. And then I remember at the end of the shoot, I was like, okay, so have you got my my clothes and stuff? And he was like, oh, no, my girlfriends went back to our house with your stuff. Because she was like the makeup and costume lady on the shoot. So then he was like, you're going to have to get a taxi to my flat to get your stuff. So I had
gold unitard.
Yes, painted gold. So I had to like flag down a taxi. And I was like, just to let you know, I was doing it. I'm not an alien. I don't usually wear this. And honestly, I was absolutely mortified.
That's brilliant.
And
I don't care how long it takes me, but I am finding that footage.
I love how you had to clarify, I'm not an alien.
It's like that video at the moment, like, I'm not a cat.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. I felt like I really, really looked like an alien. He could have been fooled. So I needed to get that right.
Always a professional, always.
So you could have totally used it to your advantage and been like, I am an alien, and if you don't give this to me for free, I'm beaming you up.
Heather, that's why you're so good at improv in class.
So true.
Make stuff up.
Those have been fantastic stories. I'm loving those. Thank you very much. Is there a scene from a film that you watched when you were a kid that has scarred you for life or has stuck with you?
Yes. I watched a film version of Hansel and Gretel as a kid with my sister. And it had the actress who has just recently passed away. She's called Claudius Leachman. She was an incredible actress. She like worked for, her IMDb just looks mental. You just keep on scrolling. But she played the witch in Hansel and Gretel. And she's the scariest witch I've ever seen in my life. And you do need to look that up on YouTube. Claudius Leachman as the witch in Hansel and Gretel is terrifying. Yeah, that scarred me.
I think like most of the Grimm's brothers stories were horrifying.
Yes.
So, and like just in a story. So whenever there's a movie, I'm very cautious about it because I'm like, even as an adult, I'm like, this is going to be rough.
I don't understand the nursery rhymes that we tell people. I mean, Jack and Jill, like he fell down, and I was singing, what was I singing to a thing the other day? Oh, Rockabye Baby. The baby falls, the bow breaks, and the baby falls. What? Little Miss Muppet, spiders?
Yeah.
Why do they do
and
that?
Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah, terrible.
I
And
don't.
Humpty Dumpty, he isn't even an egg. So I don't know why everyone's saying he's an egg.
It's just messed up.
It doesn't say he's an egg anywhere.
No,
He's not an egg?
No,
no, I guess it's
No.
just a picture of him, isn't it? It's just a depiction of the artist's interpretation, I guess.
if you look at it,
We've been
it never
brainwashed.
says- never says he's an egg. It just says he's cracked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brain
Feel
spider.
lied to.
We've been lied to.
It's like we just told you Santa Claus is not real. Like you're like,
I know. And it's just like we told Ashley, rock doesn't beat everything.
I don't know. Oh, you haven't seen that. We haven't released that one yet.
She
Okay.
didn't realize that in rock, paper, scissors, she thought
Yeah.
that rock beat everyone every time.
Oh no.
I'm like, Ashley, what would be the purpose? Everyone would just throw rock. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh.
I have my moments where I'm really on top of it.
You'll love that episode when it releases because all of our faces, when she says it, we're like,
Huh?
serious?
I really want to play it now.
Let's have a quick one. Ready?
Okay. Do
Okay.
you do paper, rock, scissors, shoot?
We say
No.
rock, paper, scissors.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just do it. Okay.
It's paper, rock, scissors, but whatever.
Right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh. I was doing it already. Sorry, try that again. Wait, okay, I was saying
It's
it.
the Zoom delay.
Rock,
Rock,
paper, scissors, shoot.
Beat
Oh,
everybody.
Oh,
everybody.
Of course, Ashley tried to say rock beats paper because it swishes it. I'm like, it's already flat.
it makes it. It just falls on top of it, right?
No, stop rewriting the rules. That was brilliant. Zoom, rock, paper, scissors. Brilliant. So is there a
Love that.
song that will guarantee get you on the dance floor when you hear it in the club?
Oh, the
Like
classic.
the night walk strut.
Yeah. I want to dance with somebody,
Mm.
but also 9 to 5 Dolly Parton is kind of my drunk song. Like that will get me anywhere.
Who really wants to get Leigh drunk right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just play. That's what we're gonna do the rest of the time. We're just gonna drink and play, bar songs.
Oh my God,
Yes.
that's
Next time we
Some
take one of
shit.
Lee's, the next
Yeah.
time we take one of Lee's classes, we're all going to show up and just have 9 to 5 playing in the background.
Oh yeah.
Rest of
Love
Dolly
that.
Parton. That'd be awesome. Do you have any useless talents?
Um.
I mean,
Ah.
like a 3-year-old, I think is a very useful talent. So, let's
Yeah.
say
Do I have any useless talents? Let me think. Yeah, I can do a really weird thing with my fingers. I don't know if that's good for a podcast,
That's
but
fine.
I can
Well-
kind of like make my fingers do that.
You make
Kind
all
of
of
weird,
it
isn't
do it.
it? Like that, kind of like really
Okay,
witchy.
so for anyone listening, audio-wise, they look gross. And they look like witches' fingers.
It's like yes. Can you do all of them like that? Could you do your whole?
Yeah. Oh,
You
sorry,
like double
just
jointed or
remembered.
something.
Oh my
Got a real Gollum thing going on here, guys. I
Yeah.
could do like audio descriptions, couldn't I? Her fingers
Yeah.
were like golems.
Very good.
Is there a sport? What sport do you think would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
Ooh. I was going to say swimming, but that's just sick. People would be drowning. Right, let me just think. Sport,
Kind of funny.
alcohol, chess. Is that a sport?
Probably. They probably classify it as a sport, but
Let me think.
how many temper tantrums would that take? Like a couple of tequilas down, they'd be smashing the board, going, I win! Checkmate!
I'm kind of obsessed with the Queen's Gambit at the moment.
How about
I kind of want to do a sketch where it's like Snakes and Ladders version, and then she kind of sees it on the roof, and it's just like snakes and ladders as opposed to the chessboard. I kind of want to do like a sketch of that.
do it?
Definitely.
Yes.
Well,
do it.
there's 3 girls right here that'll join you with any sketches
Yeah.
you want to do.
Yeah, I can't even think of any sports now. Let me just.
Well, do you want to know what?
The 100 meters? That'll be pretty mad.
Throw the hurdles in there for them.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, that's evil. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how many
I think that's
people
the
would
one.
throw up? How many people would continue running? I like it.
Have you ever tried running when drunk? You like think in your head, this is going to be fine because I'm drunk, so I can definitely run. Oh, being drunk takes it out of you. Oh, it's knackering.
Nightmare.
You get like 10 yards and you're like, I'm going to vomit.
Does it matter? What am I doing? Let me run.
And heels
Feels
as
like
well.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, not a good look at all. Not a good
Yeah.
look at all. Do you have a favorite quote or mantra that you like to live by, or that like pops up in when you're trying to make yourself feel better or anything?
I think like just turn up, like just do it. To quote Nike, but yeah. I think that like or yeah, you are enough.
Yeah,
Kind of is quite a nice one to
it's a really
remind
lovely
yourself.
one. I was talking to a friend today actually, and I said one of the ones I really like is be the type of woman to straighten another woman's crown without telling the rest of the world it was wonky.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
true, isn't it?
gorgeous.
We should be
I love
building
that.
each other up, but you don't have to tell anybody else that that person needed help. Just go on and help them and be on your way.
Yeah. That reminds me of like just kind of working in a cast and in a team when you've got like actually just kind of even when you've got people kind of that do your hair and stuff, like amazing makeup artists that are so skilled and talented, and like then your cast as well, and everyone's just kind of like egging each other on. It's so amazing when that atmosphere happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gorgeous, Keira.
Mhm.
And you don't always get that. So sometimes you're in a cast and you have a kind of oddball and you're kind of like, I know like a lot of the reason why they're being like that sometimes is insecurity for the most part. But it's just so nice when you get a group of people and they realize that everyone's there kind of to help them out and to kind of to be successful together. So
Yeah.
important.
Definitely. Such a feeling, isn't it? If you could throw, I mean, I know we can't throw any parties right now, but if you could throw any type of party right now, what would the theme be? And why would you throw the party? Well, you throw the party because it's post-COVID, but what would your ideal party theme be?
I think I would just like a jungle party. A crazy jungle party. Wild times would ensue. It would be really, really warm. And we
You dress as jungle animals? Or
Yeah.
like Tarzan and Jane?
jungle animals. I think we're going to go animals for this one.
Okay.
And there'll be a massive feast. And I think that's the most important part.
Mm.
Yeah. Jungle.
Dude.
I want to come. I'll be a
Yeah, I'm going to
jaguar.
invite myself. I
Yeah,
will be there.
what animals would you be?
I'd be a monkey.
Oh
Very
yeah,
good.
that's good.
I'd be a jaguar.
Love it. I've got a Puma jumper, and my I wouldn't wear that to the party. But the other day I was on Zoom to my mum, and she was like, "Oh, what's that on your top?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a Puma, like the brand." She was like, "Is it a lion?" And I was like, "No, it's a Puma." She's like, "A jaguar." And I was like, "No, I'm telling you what it is. It's a Puma." She's like, "Oh, it looks like a jaguar," and I just kind of gave up at that point. Sorry, I digress.
And if you're
but,
like, no, it's a puma. And she's like, a jaguar? And you're like, no, it's a puma, a horse.
yeah, just kept on going. She wasn't
I love
having
the
it.
fact you can literally just see the outline. It's not like it's detailed. I like the fact that your mum was arguing over what kind of giant cat it was. No,
Yeah.
I think that the tail looks slightly more like a jaguar.
So funny, man.
Crazy.
Ashley, what would you go as?
Maybe like a flamingo. I feel like they don't get enough love, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just get to wear a lot of pink, which is not really like favorite color of mine, but I think that would be fun.
Yes, let's make
Maybe
this
a
happen.
great
please.
flamingo.
And what would you be? You didn't say what you would be.
Yeah.
I mean, Puma.
Oh,
Puma's
Puma
not
or
really
jaguar?
cool.
And your
No.
mom's gonna be like, "You're a horse," and you're gonna be like,
I think I'd have to be a lion with my hair.
Ooh,
Probably.
very good lion.
I'd do a blow dry and see how it comes out.
That'd be
We would eat the monkey and the flamingo. You and I would eat them.
Tasty.
All right, harsh. I'll be one of those really violent monkeys, like the gorillas that like rip people apart with their hands. Okay.
Wow.
Or
Okay,
throw poop.
Good. Right. If I was to try and summon you using black magic, what 5 items represent you on the 5 corners of the pentagram?
oh my goodness. Okay.
I know.
Summon me. Right. Okay. Iron Brew. Just because I had it recently and I realised I am very Scottish. I do like Iron Brew. So
you guys know what Iron Brew is?
No clue. I'm smiling and nodding. I'm like,
it's a fizzy drink that is made pretty much exclusively in Scotland, and it's like a orange colour.
yeah.
okay.
Why is it called Iron Brew? The adverts were all meant to be about strength, weren't they? And like manliness and workers' men, and I don't know, I might have completely made that up.
I have no idea why it's called Iron Brew actually, but it's just a tasty drink. And if you mix it with Prosecco and some bitters, you can get like a Iron Brew Spritz, which is a take on an Aperol Spritz, and it's really, really nice.
Oh, heard it here,
Try that.
people.
There we go.
Nice.
Have that at your jungle party.
Yeah, there'll be loads of it at the jungle party.
Oh yeah.
So Iron Brew, a ukulele.
Really, ukulele?
I have owned a ukulele for a long, long time, and I do play it. But it kind of comes with me everywhere. I kind of take it everywhere, and I kind of play it now and again.
You know what I want to ask you to go do now, don't you?
Oh no, please don't. Not on the podcast. A French phrase book, because I've been trying to learn French for most of my adult life. So maybe that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I quite understand what you mean.
So basically, what 5 items really represent you? But I love that. So we've got Iron Brew, so we've got ukulele, French phrase book. I reckon there has to be a Shakespeare text in there somewhere.
Nah.
No.
I tell you what, a picture of my family.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
that represents me. They represent me. And go on, I'll do a Shakespeare complete works. Throw that in there.
That is you. Like, you are the Shakespeare queen.
Yeah.
He's really done me well, Shakespeare. And do you know what? I used to not actually, this sounds terrible, but at Bristol, I didn't like Shakespeare. I didn't get it and stuff like that. And then when I auditioned for the Royal Shakespeare Company, I was still like, don't quite get it, until I walked in the room and they were like, what kind of, I was doing Two Gentlemen of Verona, and they said, if you could put it into a modern film, what would you choose? And I was like, maybe like Mean Girls. The girls could be a little bit like Mean Girls. And then they were like, yeah. And when they said yeah, I was like, okay. So it's open to this kind of like new interpretations. And I hadn't realized before, I just thought it was really old and historical, and I didn't understand any of the history really. So yeah, I'll bring my Shakespeare complete works. And that.
So if I ever have to summon up a Leigh, I know exactly how to do it now.
Yeah.
My final 2 questions that we like to ask everyone, because everyone's answers are so different, is what film would you recast using just the Muppets with only one human actor?
Oh, what film would I recast with one human actor and the Muppets? Maybe like Mrs. Doubtfire.
So fun.
Who would play the Robin Williams character, a Muppet or a person?
Like maybe Miss Piggy would be Mrs. Doubtfire.
That would be a fun one.
I know she is a woman, but like we could work it.
Yeah. I can definitely envision her face covered in that cream when he shuts.
Yeah. I think I'm saying that because I kind of watched it recently. So that's probably like, it's the only film in my head at the moment. But I think that'll be pretty fun to see
I
this
think it'd be
movie,
good.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah.
I definitely think it'd be good. And my last question is, how long do you think you would survive in a zombie apocalypse?
I think I'd be quite good, you know.
Do you?
I'm going to be confident on this one because I'm quite good at Laser Quest. I'm quite stealthy, you see, and I can hide well. So I think what I'd do is I'd kind of like swim to an island. Can zombies swim?
It depends on the film, to be honest.
All right. So in my zombie apocalypse, they can't swim.
They can't swim. Yeah, brilliant.
And I'd like swim to an island and I just have a great time on an island. Probably have a jungle party of some description.
Yes.
It'd be great.
Do you reckon you could like hunt and kill and stuff? Set traps?
No.
Okay, so
I'd be bringing kids.
If it was an island with like a 24-hour co-op, you'd be fine.
Absolutely, or M&S.
Yeah, M&S, definitely. So much for giving such wonderful answers to my questions. Now, I think people definitely know you brilliantly now. I'm going to pass you off onto the very capable hands of Heather, where she will be very, very much more intellectual than I am.
Uh-oh.
Oh, not too much more. So anytime we start this part of the interview with our guests, we always want to know your background, where you're from, what got you into acting.
Oh, cool. Okay. So I'm from a town called Paisley in Scotland. And what got me into acting was I started off at a youth theatre called Pace. When I was really young. I think I was about like 4 or 5 when I started there. And there was just some amazing drama workers there who kind of taught, and they were just really passionate. And it was a really, really good youth theatre to be part of and stuff. And I met Mark there actually. Mark Woolley trained there, and the actor Richard Madden trained there as well. James McAvoy. There's a lot of kind of, yeah. There's a lot of people who came from there. So it was really, really fun. And I had a really, really great group of people. I've actually made some best friends for life there as well. Like, yeah. So I started off there, and then I did a foundation course at Mount View, I did musical theatre for a year. And then I went on to Bristol Vic, and I did 3 years at Bristol Vic studying acting. And actually, before then, this is quite iconic. I was in the world premiere of Fame 2, sorry, not Fame 2, the world premiere. It's called Fame Forever, and that really that really made me want to do it. It gave me the drive.
How old were you when you were in it?
I was like, I think I was 16 when I was in it. It was really fun, actually. That's what made me want to do musical theatre, because I didn't think I was good enough to do musical theatre. Like, I sang, but I wasn't a musical theatre singer. Like, they are amazing. They can, like, proper belt. And then I did that musical, and I was like, maybe I can do it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like every single job you do, you're like, oh, maybe I can do this. And then I did musical theatre, then did some acting at Bristol as well.
So to get into Bristol, was there an audition process that you had to go through? Did you get it your first time, or?
I didn't get it my first time. I remember my first time, they kind of changed the audition process up. So the first time we auditioned, we did the first round, and then we got through to the second round. And the second round was like, you were put into groups of people, and then you stayed overnight at a hotel, and you were like paired with people to stay with. Mm-hmm. So I remember just sharing this room with this girl, and I hadn't brought any pajamas. I forgot my pajamas, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to need to wear my clothes like for the next day or something, and she's going to really judge me for that. And yeah, it was fine. Like I that was my first year of auditioning, so I didn't get in. I felt like I was a wee bit young to get in then. And then in my second year, I think we had round 1, and then got through to the second round, and then that was like a whole day of classes, which was amazing. You got to see all your different teachers and stuff, and like what you'd be doing. and I got in, and it was really lucky. So, yeah.
Were you, after that, you said after your first one, when you didn't get in, you just felt like you weren't ready. So did you go back and do like more training?
So on the first year that I didn't get in, I got into other schools. So I got into Mount View for my foundation in musical theatre. So I did that for that year. And I got into Italia Conti at one point, but that wasn't right for me. So I left Italia Conti, which I still think is the right decision. I think if you just know in your heart something's not right for you, like it just wasn't the right place for me. So I left there. Yeah.
And then, because I know interviewing other people who went to some of the drama schools, the last year you're in there, you do a showcase where agents can come. Did you do one of those? And is that where you got your first agent?
Yeah, so I did a showcase at Bristol. We actually did a showcase in London, and I made up my speech from a showcase. I decided that I was going to do a speech that was about the girl in front of me had actually already done my monologue. So I was like really angry at her. So I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I don't even have a speech to do for you now because she's just come up here and she's done my speech. So then I was like looking off stage and be like, look, I've not even brought my ukulele, so I can't even play anything for you. Or and I remember at first that the agents were a bit like, oh, I do remember that kind of feeling of like, has this actually happened? And then I got my agent from that, which was I don't know if it was a cop out because I kind of had made up my speech, but it was fun. I had fun doing it. And you
totally made it up. You totally improv the whole speech.
I didn't no. I didn't improv it on the night. I improved it like a couple of weeks before, and then kind of the school checked out and was like, yeah, you can do it. Let's try it.
Talk about having a memorable, like monologue. I bet they had never seen one like that before.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really, really fun to do. But the problem was when I went into auditions after that, there was some casting directors that wanted me to do the speech again for the directors they had in the room. But in that context, the speech doesn't work. And I remember trying to say like, I don't know if it worked because no one's been before me and it's not. And then they're like, oh, just do it. It's really, really funny. So I remember like doing the speech and kind of thinking, this director is going to just think I'm mad because this speech does not work in this context at all. Anyway, they laughed politely.
So were your parents always supportive of you wanting to pursue this industry?
Like my mum and dad have just been amazing from the start. I've been really, really lucky, and my sister, and my whole family actually. I've got a really lovely base of people that are backing me and helping me. So yeah, my mum actually has taken up acting herself, and she got a part in a film, which is incredible. Her first audition, and she got a part in a film. She nailed it. So I'm so proud.
Did she just start taking classes during this time? It was like, I just want to do it.
Yeah. So she, it was about a year and a half ago, I think, she started taking adult classes. And I was like sending her all my books and stuff from drama school. And she just loves it. She's made so many amazing friends from it as well. And she's just awesome. She started learning violin as well. Like, she's just doing it all.
Yeah.
So when does her film come out?
Her film comes out, I think, at the end of this year. It should be. It's called The Last Bus. It's got Timothy Spall is the main character in it. And I can't remember her character's name. She's playing a lady on a bus who's she's got a grandson and she tells him to be quiet all the time. Can't remember her character name though.
We'll be getting Mama Quinn on our podcast.
I know. Yeah. I love that she's a little bit older and she's like got into it a year and a half ago. Oh, see, that's the stuff I love. Like, I love to hear about like those journeys. I think that's so interesting. And
you gotta be such a proud daughter.
Oh man, I really, really will be. You can do it at any age. Like life experience is probably the best thing to bring to like acting anyway. So the more life experience you have, the better you're going to be at it. Like, so yeah, she nailed it.
Yeah. And one thing we always love to ask is, because it's something everybody goes through in this industry, is all the rejections, the auditions that you do that you don't get. And how do you deal with going in for an audition, whether thinking you've nailed it and not getting a call back, or knowing that maybe you didn't try your best, but it's still, the same result where you don't get a call back? How do you deal with that rejection?
I guess I just know that I'm going to do this forever. Like, I just know that in my heart. So I can't let rejection kind of get in my way or get me down. Of course it does. Of course there's some parts that I've been like, oh, I really, really wanted that. That would have been great for me. But what's for you won't go by you. And yeah, I just know that I'm going to have to keep doing this because I love it. So yeah.
Do you have any? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What's that? I had a really, really terrible audition once that I really.
That's what we like.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Oh, really? I wanted it so much at the time, and looking back on it, I'm like, why? Why on earth did you want that so much? It would have been great if I got it. I would have loved it. I love every job I do. I'm like, yeah, this is the best job ever. But I really, really wanted to be in Angelina Ballerina World Tour, which was
like the Angelina Ballerina like book.
It was a tour, like a dance tour, and basically I had just kind of gotten out of Mount View. This is like one of my first auditions. I got out of Mount View. I met people at a party. I actually met a casting director that's now a really, really lovely friend of mine. But she was like, do you do ballet? And I was like, yeah, I've done ballet before. Basic ballet, like just made sure she knew that. And she was like, cool, I've got an audition for you. And I was thinking, oh, this is networking. This is what happens. This is great. Turned up for this Angelina Ballerina audition, and oh my goodness, there's dancers with their legs up by their head, just looking at me like, staring me out. And I'm like, okay, I can't do that, so that's not going to be me. And then I'm just kind of like lunging, trying to kind of do like a calf stretch. And then this amazing choreographer comes in. He's like, oh, come on, darlings, come on, shake it, show us what you can do. And he's like doing all these swirls and twirls, and I'm at the back thinking, absolutely not. I am never in a million years picking this up. So I'm trying my best. So I tried my utmost to pick it up, but I knew for a fact I wasn't getting recalled. I knew so much that I was like, I'm not even going to go in when they call up people to go up and do some dances. I'm not even going to go and do it because there's no point in me embarrassing myself. So I stood at the side, which was at the kind of opposite corner to the exit door. So I couldn't even exit. I was just like, I'm stuck in this corner, so I'm just going to stay in the corner. So all these girls went up and did their dance and everything like that. And then basically what they did was they cut from the dance. So like, instead of saying, oh, we really like these people, they said, we're going to lose number 11, number 25, So I was still in the mix. I got to round 2 just by not doing the dance. I was mortified. Then they called us up in groups of 3. And I just remember catching the eye of this casting director who'd got me in the room. And I was like, I just said, I'm just going to try my best. And all the other dancers were just looking at me like, what is she talking about? And I stumbled my way through whatever moves that I picked up. And I can't tell you how bad it was. It was so bad that I met a girl on the tube a week later, and she was like, oh, are you all right after last week? And I was like thinking, who are you? And she was like,
do you remember
the Angelina Ballerina auditions? Yeah, are you okay?
What a thing to say. But I feel like that would be such a funny skit to do.
Yeah, like, I wanted it so much though at the start. I was like, oh, I was heartbroken when I couldn't pick it up.
At what point did they then cut you? Like at the end of the choreography, were they like, nah?
Like right away, they're like, 3, go.
It's like security guards come on halfway through and just like
they were probably like, how did she get through the first round?
That's what all the girls were thinking. Halfway through that kind of dance when I was in the 3, I think everyone knew around that I wasn't getting through. It was so sad. It was like really a sad, embarrassing moment. But I survived it, and I really do think it made me stronger. And yeah.
And you made you more aware of not hyping up your talents on your CV just in case.
Yeah, I thought basic ballet would be fine, but no, not for a dance audition. It's never fine.
Yeah, hiding is not a good coping mechanism either.
Yeah, never.
I don't know, maybe the moral of the story is in an audition, just hide at the back, don't participate, and you might get through the first round.
Or that.
Take from it what you will.
Oh man. So yeah, that's my worst audition ever.
So you've told us about your worst audition. Do you have like an audition where you just felt like you nailed it, and maybe you didn't even get the part, but you just left the audition room like, yes, I did it?
I had an audition once for RADA, and I do remember that I made like the panel cry with my monologue, and I was like, wow, this is great. I think I might get in. And then I did my song, and they like gave me like a round of applause. Then I was like, this is going like too well. And then I didn't get in. And I just remember being like, oh, that's so sad. Like, because I really, really felt like, even when I was talking to them, I felt like I really, really connected with them as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that. It's a bit of a kind of like good, bad audition.
Did they give you feedback?
What's that?
Did they give you feedback of why or what you, like why you didn't get in? Or was it just like, no, sorry, you didn't make it at this time?
Yeah, it's just like, no, you don't make it at this time. Yeah, you didn't really get feedback. I don't know if you do now, but yeah, we didn't really get any feedback. But I remember just thinking, oh, like, I felt really good there. Yeah, that was.
Can you remember what your monologue was? Because that sounds like a good one to make people cry. There might be people listening to that going, damn, I need to find a monologue to make people cry.
Do you know what? I think I did. I auditioned for RADA twice, but I think that year I did a monologue from Shakers. It's like, it's in a monologue book. It's like quite a common one. And I think she's talking about her gran is dying or something. And I cared for my gran for a long time, like me and my mum and like my family. My mum and my sister and my dad mostly did, because I was kind of like gallivanting off to London and stuff. But I think because I had that experience, I kind of really could feel it. So yeah, that's why I chose that monologue. But yeah, I think it was from Shakers. Yeah, John Godber.
Nice.
So up to this point, what do you feel like has been like your greatest success in your acting journey?
Oh, it's hard. My greatest success. I like it when casts work out. Like when you're part of a collective and you've devised something together, and it's like you're feeling really, really good about it. I think I like that. I like making my own work as well. Mm-hmm. So like I write little sketches and stuff sometimes, and I actually think that is what I'm kind of most proud of. Mm-hmm. Like kind of when I get together and I find time to kind of write all these kind of like little bits and bobs, and I get to improv with my friends and have a good time. Yeah, I think that.
You need to start posting them, woman.
Yeah, I need to get a little group together. Quite a lot of the ones that I've done now are really, really dated. I'd be like an old meme if I've put them up. So I've got to find new ones now. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to watch them. I'm sure other people would too.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fun though. Yeah, I love working with my friends. I think my greatest success is making friends and connections that I can have for life.
Yeah. That's sweet.
You won a like writing challenge, right? When you were about 16, didn't you write a skit that got picked up? How can you tell us about that?
What I can remember from that is I only remember one sketch from that. I wrote some sketches with my friend David Montgomery, James Kirk, Mark Rowley, and Karen Bradley. We wrote some sketches, and then like sent them into BBC and won this competition, which was really cool. And then BBC like developed us for a while and stuff. And I just remember like getting taxis and stuff, and we told them to go to McDonald's instead, and the BBC, and we were really naughty. But that was really fun.
It was Mark.
Yeah. But the sketch that I really remember is we did a sketch about gaffer tape. Do you know gaffer tape? Like a kind of really, really hardcore adhesive tape.
Okay.
And we were all in a theatre, in youth theatre at the time, and we found a roll of gaffer, and we kind of like put it on all the boys' hairy legs, and we'd sing like, "If you want to wax in, just use gaffer."
Did you rip it off?
And ripped it off. And then we're like, "Strokeably smooth for girls on the move, gaffer." So silly. But I just remember really enjoying like ripping off the gaffer tape.
Yeah.
I'm going to find that sketch. That would be great to post on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm sure David has it somewhere.
So
Did the boys scream?
Oh, yeah.
You have to find that.
Yeah. That's the only one I can remember from that. And
so
we did a show at the Edinburgh Fringe as well, which was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what have you worked on in your career that you feel like has shaped your journey or your career the most to where you are today? What do you think was the most impactful or significant?
I think I was really lucky I worked during drama school, and I think just getting work and being in work can give you a lot of confidence to take the next steps. So like I got in a drama when I was actually at drama school, and we filmed it over like the Easter break, and I think that really kind of set me up. Everything's like a stepping stone. Mm-hmm. Like you meet people, and they're not necessarily the people who you think can like will get you places or whatever. It sounds so kind of like hammy and kind of like, I don't know what am I trying to say, but you meet people and they're your friends, and then you realize that you can make work with them, and you go another direction that you didn't think that you were going to go in. And yeah, it's still been a journey like that. I think that's improv's really shaped a lot of what I do. Mm-hmm. I did some classes at the Free Association, which I thought were really fun, and I want to do some more. I think improv's a really great tool for any actor to have, especially auditions. A lot more often in auditions you have to improv as well, and even on set you have to kind of like improv a couple of lines here and there. So it's just a good thing to have, mm-hmm. And to feel confident with.
So where do you see yourself in like 5 or 10 years from now? What are you hoping?
Oh my goodness. I would really like to be in a sitcom, or like I'd love to be in like like a sitcom. I've been watching Call My Agent, and I think that is awesome. I don't know if you've seen it on Netflix.
Yeah, is that a newer show, or is it older?
It's an older show, I think, but it's kind of like they've had loads of seasons. They've had 5 seasons. It's really fun. And it's French, so you have to kind of watch it with subtitles and stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've not learned enough French already to watch it.
Let's say when you said French, I was like, wow, you're fast, nice.
But yeah, I'd love to be in a sitcom. I'd love to be writing my own stuff. I'd love to be doing my own work. And I like your shock face. Sorry, Heather. And yeah, I'd love to own a camper van as well.
A camper van? What is that?
Yeah, a camper van. I love a motorhome. Oh,
okay. I didn't know if that was like another word that you guys use for something that it's something different over here. Like, like jumpers or like sweaters, like sweatshirts for you guys, but jumpers for us are like, I don't know, like snow pants, I guess, or whatever. So when you said camper van, I was like, does she mean like a real camper van, or is this something that I don't know?
No, like a motorhome. I look them up all the time. Yeah, I love them.
Would you go for like VW camper van, or would you go for like Winnebago?
Oh, You know, I would actually really love a Winnebago, but I'm a nervous driver, so I couldn't drive it. I'd just stay in the one spot. So I would have to go for a smaller one, unfortunately. So I couldn't call it a Quinnebago, which is sad.
Quinnebago.
That would be awesome.
I love it.
But yeah, that.
Well, thank you for answering my questions. And we're going to turn it over to Ashley, where she's going to talk to you about how you prep for roles and those kinds of things.
Yes. So with the crazy world that is today, obviously we do a lot of auditions online, self-tapes and things like that. So how have you like tackled that new-ish kind of way of auditioning?
I quite like self-tapes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the stuff, a lot of the things that I've been going up for can be quite small parts, like one line here and there. So like it makes a lot of sense to do that as a self-tape. So I've been quite enjoying them. I like getting quite creative with them as well. Yeah. How do you like I quite like self-tapes.
Yeah. Like, so when you're like, how do you get creative? What are some of the ways that, if you don't mind sharing, how do you get creative with them?
I've had to tape for adverts quite a lot over the past kind of lockdown, and in adverts, quite often they're giving you the full brief of the advert, which requires you to have like multiple props and like settings and use your whole house. So I've been quite enjoying doing the shots required of the DOP on the advert. I've been like setting it all up and basically shooting it myself in my living room. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but actually you learn a lot from doing those kinds of things. So I think it's been really good. I've had lots of time to do it, so yeah. I've been quite happy doing that.
When you get like normal roles, or you get past the first audition and maybe to the second round, how do you usually prep for that? What do you think has been the most useful tools or tricks that you've used?
Like remembering what you've done in the audition as well, I think is quite important. Like remembering what you've offered, so that you can kind of bring that back as well. Like, read the brief is like probably the most important, and if you're going in for a recall, they sometimes give you notes as well. Things to kind of improve on, or things they think like the producer or director is going to like if they are like going to be in the room as well. So I've had to like straighten my hair on a couple of occasions for the recalls, because I would look more like the character that I was playing. Like these have been times where I've been auditioning for someone, a younger version of someone. So they've said, look, can you straighten your hair and then come in next time with straight hair and stuff. So read the brief, read the whole script if you get it, the entire script, and have an opinion of it. I think it's also really good to kind of like know what your kind of first take on the script was, like what your first instincts were on it, because sometimes you can kind of lose track of a character, like if you think about it too much, or if you quite a lot of actors want to really show they can play a certain type of character, that they end up not actually playing the character in the script. Like, so you need to really pay attention to what's in the text, the clues you get, and also just be a decent person, just be a nice person that people will want to work with and hang out with, because a lot of parts you're going up for, you'll be on set for quite a long time and they want to know that you can take direction. So yeah, just be open.
Great. Yeah. And then so right now, with everything being different, for every role that you're submitted for, does only your agent, or have you kind of been out there looking on the different sites yourself and submitting yourself and then going through your agent? What has been your process that you like to do?
Over this lockdown, it's been mostly my agent's been sending me up for work. I've had a couple of things through from people who I've worked with before. So that's just been kind of like them and me kind of like chatting together. And then I've been writing to people who are like, I've seen someone in a program that I really, really love. I'll write to them and I'll tell them that I thought they were awesome. Yeah, I've been doing that a lot more, spreading the love.
Get a reply?
Yeah. Just spreading the love and letting people know that I kind of appreciate their work. There's a lot of hardworking people out there. Yeah.
I know. I always feel so weird. And I mean, the girls know that, and other guests I've talked to, like when we're reaching out to people to come on here to be like, hey, can you just like share your knowledge? I always like to say like how much I enjoy their work, or, you know, why they've inspired me, and I would love for them to inspire other people. Just trying to figure out like a way to like do that and not, I don't know, feel like too fangirly or just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Because you're kind of asking them to do something at the same time you're saying, you know, you're inspiring me. I support you. I love your work. Like, do you find that odd, or do you get like mail like that yourself? Like, how do you respond to that?
I have had mail like that in the past. It's nice to get.
Okay.
Unless you are just like a creepy old man, which you're not. It's nice to know that people have enjoyed your work. I think. I don't think there's any harm in kind of like sending kind of an appreciation post, or even like on Twitter and stuff. Everything's all open now, so like even kind of retweeting something they say, or like, I don't know, like saying I think this program's awesome, I think this person's really good. I think that can go a long way, and it also just makes people feel good, so there's no harm in it.
Oh, good. Yeah. So, okay, I'll feel a little bit better about sliding into people's DMs. Like, not so like, hey, well, at the end of our podcast, we always like to kind of ask these things. And one of the things is, what are 3 words or maybe terms that you would describe as yourself in your career path, or describe you?
Ooh. Okay, I think like in my career path, I could say prostitute, nun, nurse, because that was the 3 roles that I was going up for consistently from graduating. But we won't say that. I will say I think my career so far has been fun, enlightening, and lucky. And I think I've been lucky to work with who I've worked with. I think I've been enlightened by like when you get a part, and especially when it's like something like Shakespeare, or like you have to research like a historical time or something like that. It's cool. Like, these are things that I would never have found out before, especially like you get really into like the real specifics of things. And it's so interesting. And you wouldn't ever learn these things unless you were doing like a PhD on like these kind of historical figures. So it's cool. I really, really love that part of it. And I do find it fun.
Yeah. I would love to see what your headshots were if you were constantly going out for a prostitute, a nun, and what was the other one?
Prostitute, nun, and nurse.
A nurse. I would love to see those headshots. That's what your
the vibe she was giving off.
The vibe, see how she was going with that. That's awesome. And then what is one piece of advice that you wish that you knew, or you would like to give someone starting out, or in the midst of their career, that maybe thinking, should I continue doing this? You know, kind of give them that little extra nudge of hope.
Like, be ready, be prepared. Like put the work in, do your voice warm-ups and stuff every day, and or as much as you can, and like read up, like get your knowledge together, and also just find out what kind of styles and what directors you like. Be you. Like, don't try and kind of be who you think people want you to be. Like, find out what you like, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do like kind of zany, kooky comedies and you love it, go and be good at it. You're great. Like, no one's stopping you. And yeah, just turn up. Just turn up.
It's going to be like Nike's new slogan. Instead of just do, it's going to be like, just turn up.
Listen,
that was Leigh's idea.
If it gets out, we'll know. I mean, I feel like all the conversations we've had, I feel like we've had skits that need to come out now, new movies that need to come out now, obviously new slogans. So if Nike's looking for a new market manager, there you go.
Absolutely. A betrayed Puma, though. They're gutted.
Don't you mean Jaguar? You betrayed Jaguar?
Yeah, sorry.
Awesome. And then we also like to end it in kind of our guest choice. So where can we find you on social media? Where should we look out for you on any upcoming films or plays via Zoom? Because I feel like that's all the theater is right now. Anything that we can let our guests know where to find you.
So social media, I am Leigh123, I think. Yeah, so I'm on Insta. And yeah, I don't know where to find me. Find me in a pub in Paisley.
When lockdown's over. Or
when
is lockdown not...
over, yeah.
Okay.
No, lockdown is fully in place here.
Left the lion, drinking like Iron Brew.
I'm learning French at last.
With the ukulele.
At my jungle party. Yeah, and I've got a film coming out. Hopefully, I'll play a lovely little part. I'm a bridesmaid in a film called The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight.
Ooh,
so that will hopefully be out not too long away, maybe at Christmas.
Oh, okay. So in this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we have to have you back on right before it launches or right after to talk about it.
Maybe after, just in case I'm cut.
And we'll talk about how does it feel to be in a film, and then
that would be so embarrassing. Yeah, let's do it after.
We'll definitely do that. Oh my God. Well, thank you so much, Leigh, for coming on.
Aww.
We appreciate it. We're so thankful for your knowledge and your laughs and wisdom. Yeah.
Oh, well,
just a good positive vibe. I know.
Yes, definitely. And if you want to be taught by this amazing woman, she does one-to-one sessions at the Actors Community, which is theactorscommunity.org. And you also do like 6-week, 4-week courses, don't you, depending on what's on?
Yeah, that's exciting.